Hey, I wanted to do a quick video here showing you some of the new things you can do now that there's a macro recorder. SEnuke used to be thought of as just a link building tool. I think now it's safe to say you can think of it as a time saving tool, and this is one of those things you can do that'll save you some time. What we're going to do here is build a script that will go in and update all of our WordPress sites for us with one click. So if you run even a small network of sites, you can see that this can save you quite a bit of time in the long run. First thing we'll do is create a new account profile. And before we can add that in, we've actually got to do new social network project. Right click and add our script. Save that. Okay, close both of these out. Now when we go in to add our account, we'll actually be able to select the site, add our account, close it. We can see it's been saved. Count 1. Alright, so now we'll go back to our project here, right click and edit the script. This brings up our page here. By default, SEnuke is always just going to try to load whatever your URL is. We're actually going to right click and edit and go to wplogin.php, which will bring up our login form here. Do our select element tool, select this, and we'll do set element value to user ID, and then we'll do a set element value on our password. It's going to be password, and then we will add an element click to our login button, and then we'll test for that. Oh, and if we go back to our project, we'll see I forgot to select the profile. And we'll go back into the script and run it one more time. And that looks a lot better. So what we will do is now we want to make sure that we're checking that the page that we want to be loaded is loaded. So we will wait for dashboard to show up, because that's what we're looking for. And then normally we would just click on this link, but I don't really want to do it that way. So we will actually go, I'm just going to check on, so it's update-core.php. So what we're going to do is add a navigate. We're going to do site URL /wp-admin/update-core.php. We're going to use this same command a few times throughout our script, so we'll make sure it works. And I'm going to drag this over so that stops collapsing. So we can see that we've got WordPress needs to be updated, plugins need to be updated, and themes need to be updated, which is great because then we'll be able to test everything. I like working from the bottom up, so we're going to start with the themes. So what we want to do is add in an element click for the select all, so the themes select all, and then add in a click for the update themes button, and then we will test those. And you can see it selects everything. It's clicking the button now. Our update themes page pops up. Everything's been updated. Perfect. We want to wait until all updates have been completed shows up. So we want to wait for this text. Perfect. And then we're going to take this, we're going to copy it, and we're going to paste it. Or not. Okay, so we're going to add a new navigate site URL wp-admin update core PHP. Alright, so now we will run that just to get back to our update page. Refresh that so it's not cached. Alright, so now we will do the exact same thing for our plugins. Add an element, click on the select all, add an element, click on the update plugins, run both of those. Alright, same thing again. We're going to wait for all updates have been completed. And then we will add in a navigate to site URL /wp admin /update core.php. Alright. Run that just to get back to our page. Reload the site. Alright, and then we will click the add an element click for the update now button. I believe that's the only thing that matches. And we can see that the upgrade is complete. So now we want to wait for, we're going to go to, wait for here, wait for, go to dashboard, and when it finds that, we are going to add mark finished. Alright, so that is the script. That'll go through, that'll update everything. The problem is if it runs into an issue with, say, the themes have already been updated, it's not going to have these buttons to click, or same thing with the plugins or WordPress itself. So we need to go back through and add in our error checking. And to do that, we'll go back to our updates here. If we see you have the latest version of WordPress, we're going to jump to our mark finished, which is step 17. We're going to put that just before it clicks the upgrade button. So it's going to come back to the update cord. It's going to search for this. If it finds it, it's going to skip that, take us down to mark finished. Alright, so now if we find your plugins are all up to date, we're going to have that take us to just before. So we'll actually have it take us to this navigate step, which will basically just reload the page if it finds it. That's not a big deal. So you want to take this to just before the plugins get updated, so it'll load the page, check if all of our plugins are up to date. It's going to skip the selecting the plugin stuff, waiting for all that, and it'll just reload the page. We're going to do the same thing with the themes. So if your themes are all up to date, it's going to skip all that. We'll have it go to step 10, the navigate step there. Save that and put that right there. Alright, so what our script does, it loads the login page, enters the username, password, logs in, waits to see dashboard. As soon as it does, it takes us to the update page. It checks to see if our themes are up to date. If they're not, it goes ahead and checks all of our themes, clicks the upgrade button, waits for the confirmation that everything's been complete, and then takes us back to the update page. Once it does that, it does the same thing with the plugins, checks to see if they're not all up to date, updates those, goes through, loads the update page again. If we don't have the latest version of WordPress, it will go ahead and update that for us, and then mark it as finished. So to run through on a normal site, probably going to take you 30 seconds or so. So if you only have one site, honestly, this is probably not going to save you a lot of time. If you have 20 or 30 or 100, this is probably going to save you a couple hours every time WordPress puts out an update. And they've got 3.5 coming out fairly soon, so you'll have an update coming out. I'm going to attach this script on the page, so you don't have to go through and do all this again if you don't want to. You can just download it and use it. And enjoy.